Hey guys, it's Kevin again, and in this video, I'm going to be reviewing Justified, Season 5, Episode 4, Over the Mountain. If you guys are wondering what's happened to my videos, unfortunately I had laryngitis the past 2 days, and I couldn't really talk or make videos. As you can see, I'm still recovering from it, but I'll be fine. I could not make videos yesterday because I had, no voice, so that is why. But, I'm going to review Justified for you now because now I sort of have a voice. And, let's review it because I thought this episode was fantastic. It really was. All of my complaints last week are abysmal in this one. Because what I love about Justified is, you have the two individual plots. You have Raylan's and you have Boyd's. In this episode, this is the one where they both connect. And I really love that. That's what I love about this episode. Plus, Raylan's plot was a lot stronger this episode, and I really enjoyed that. So let's just get to this episode. So, we see, basically see that Dewey, he's made this deal with Meeser. He digs a grave. He's unaware it's for him. Meeser stands to find Dewey pointing a gun for him. And again, Dewey is just the most dumb-ass person on this show, or maybe on the whole planet Earth, because he thinks that he's actually in an alliance with Meeser when Meeser just wants to kill him. And just, oh my god, Dewey. Someone needs to give this guy a brain, because he clearly does not have one. Dewey fires, hitting Meeser in the abdomen region. The two men fight, then Dewey gets the better of him and beats him to death with Meeser's own shovel. The shovel breaks, but Dewey tries to use it anyways to finish digging Meeser's grave. Dewey goes to the truck to find another way to dig the grave. When he comes back, Meeser's gone. Meeser sneaks behind Dewey, shoves him off the small cliff they are near. So Raylan learns that Meeser is a CI for the department spying on Boyd. Art tells him that his new assignment is to find Meeser, who's gone AWOL. So Art tells Raylan that Tim will be accompanying him, and you know what? I actually really like episodes with Raylan and Tim. Last week we got Raylan and Rachel, and I actually think Tim's a better character. Rachel is more for comic relief. Tim too, but I don't know, I think Tim's a better character and they work better together than Rachel and Raylan. Maybe it's because, I don't know, I think Tim is a better character than Rachel. That's my opinion, but that's what I think. So, Dewey is wandering the wilderness. He's got no phone service. And then Boyd visits Johnny and Ava at the jail. Johnny asks why Boyd had come to the visitation, and Boyd tells him that Johnny needs to make retributions for his actions against Crowder, and Johnny thinks Boyd owes him for taking a bullet for him. And Boyd disagrees, but tells Johnny that he wants to set aside their differences to make a profit. I was very surprised by this, because it seemed like Johnny and Boyd really did not get along, but in this one, Boyd's kind of saying, let's put that aside and let's try and make our own business. That's what he's basically telling him. Johnny basically tells Boyd he didn't come to see him. He came to see Ava, and the meeting's done. He also says that Boyd should have done right by him, and before he leaves, he tells Ava he's coming for her, and Boyd leaves as well without speaking to Ava. So Raylan arrives at Dewey's business looking for Meeser. The women, they're not happy to see him, but he has a search warrant, because Raylan meets Kendall, Meeser's brother. Tim finds a phone belonging to Meeser, but Raylan doesn't believe it's the one he's been using. Back in the wilderness, Dewey prays the Lord for deliverance. He asks Jesus to help him find Meeser so he can kill him. Then he'll straighten up and go to church, just as he tells Jesus just how he's never asked him for shit. He spots fresh blood on a rock. Raylan and Tim, they arrive at Meeser's house, but he's not there. Tim asks why Raylan's not more excited about finding Meeser. Tim opens Meeser's door, and then two angry pit bulls run out. And I thought this was actually really funny. So they open the door, and just as Danny Crowe comes out in his underwear, Tim asks Danny how he's came to be living in Meeser's house. So let's just do a refresher here. You have Daryl, you have Dewey, now you have Danny. So that was definitely interesting the way, I just think it's funny that they all are D's names. Where was I? There we go. So they jump on top of the cars just as Danny Crowe comes running out of his underwear. Tim asks Danny how he came to be living in Meeser's house, and he says he's just staying there for a while, but they're welcome to have a look around. So Dewey finds Meeser, who doesn't appear to be doing too well, but he's still alive, and Dewey's about to kill Meeser, but is interrupted by a family on a hunting trip. Meeser wakes up just in time to see Dewey leaving with the family. He calls for them, but Dewey covers his cries by screaming and pretending to be in pain. The family rushes him onto their ATVs and they leave the wilderness. Back at Dewey's business, Danny asks Kendall and the bartender about what's going on with Dewey and Meeser. Kendall was this little boy that they found before. Kendall is one of the Crows, but he's more like, he kind of reminds me of Loretta in the sense that he's kind of the one that Raylan wants to protect. The difference is that Loretta turned out to be like a really like rebellious character. This one seems more like he cares about his family, but he's more grounded than his family. That's what it seemed like to me, at least. So then we got something really interesting, and I really love this next scene because it wasn't something I expected. Ava's cornered by this short, douchey cop, and this cop, not a good cop. Not a good cop at all, because all he wants to do is have sex with her. He goes right to the cell, makes a short joke, pisses him off. He tells her to take her clothes off and bend over, and she would not listen. And just as he tries to force her to disrobe, a female guard appears. He plays it off by saying Ava was resisting his demands. I actually thought he was going to rape her, because I never know in this show. And I thought that was really amazing, because I did not expect anything like that at all. So you got to be wondering, what's really going on with Ava? Why did this guy just corner her like this? I mean, that's a police officer. That police officer's obviously not doing his job. You don't go up to someone and try to rape them if you're a police officer when you're trying to stop a crime. That's not what a police officer's job is. You, sir, were not a good officer. Alright. So I definitely found that very interesting. I really enjoyed that. So meanwhile, Raylan pays Boyd a visit. Boyd, here's where it connects. Boyd's holding a firearm, which Raylan points out he could throw him in jail for, and Raylan asks Boyd about Meeser. Boyd, of course, denies knowing anything about Meeser. Raylan suggests that if Meeser is found dead, Boyd could go down for the crime. So Boyd finally agrees to give Raylan Meeser's other phone number. And Boyd wants to know if he can go, but he can't. So Raylan asks him to babysit Boyd while he checks out the number. And then Art receives this call from Detroit about his case. And back at Dewey's, Daryl finally hears about Dewey, who's at the hospital. Raylan tracks Meeser's phone GPS to out-of-the-way bed and breakfast. Dewey tells Daryl that Meeser was still alive when he left, and Daryl informs Dewey they have to go find him and finish the job. However, when they arrive, cops are swarming the area. Raylan has found Meeser, who's passed away. So Meeser's dead now, which was a pretty big surprise. I didn't think Meeser would actually die, but this is justified. People die like that. I thought the Danny Crowe was going to die. The second they saw him, it looked like they were going to shoot him. I thought he was going to die. Raylan informs Boyd that they found Meeser dead, and at the jail, the female guard actually attacks this male guard who tried to force himself on Ava. So she makes him promise he'll never try anything again, holding a lit cigarette to his eye, and that is just, ugh, that's brutal. Brutal. Like, I can't think of any bigger, better torture method. Like, that's an amazing torture method. Just hold a cigarette and put it right near someone's eye and be like, if you don't stop, I'm going to kill you with this. I think that's a great torture method, and that's a really great officer. So, Daryl hides Dewey, who feels Daryl's holding him hostage. He also blames Daryl for his troubles, since he was the one who suggested he kill Meester to begin with. So Daryl tells him he made him do it to prove he's a real Crowe. So Boyd and his cronie spy on Monroe. They're planning to take him down. Raylan returns to the station, shares with another detective that he believes the Crows are responsible and for Meester's murder. And in Detroit, Art visits an inmate there who believes he knew something about Nicky Augustine's murder. Art finally gets a name of the inmate, a guy named Picker, who's actually staying in Kentucky with Win Duffy. And this was just huge. I did not expect this at all. The inmate is Canadian. Art suggests to the detective in Detroit to send him back across the border. So, Art went to Detroit without Raylan. Obviously, Art's going to eventually betray Raylan. There's something more to this. I don't know what it is, but Art's never really had his own plot, and this is really cool. Art's usually more just the person who gives Raylan missions, but not in this episode. Then we see Allison. Allison and Raylan, they have sex, and then Allison tells Raylan about a child she took out of a home who had been chained to a radiator in the garage by his father. She says the father tried to kill her because she took the child and would have succeeded if the police had not been there, and after telling Raylan about her day, she asked him to spend the night with her at her place. And then we get the very last two scenes. Mooney presents Lee with a hand that he claims belongs to Boyd, and after Mooney leaves the room, Mara asks Lee if he still wants to pursue a case against Ava. He says yes. Raylan arrives at Dewey's business again to question Daryl about Meester's disappearance. Daryl refuses to admit anything, so Raylan tells Daryl that he and his crew need to pack up and leave the place. Daryl refuses, so Raylan tells him that he's taking Kendall, the teenager, into protective custody. Daryl threatens to kill Raylan. Raylan dares him to try. Just as things are about to get violent, Kendall speaks up to tell Daryl he'll go with Raylan. So as I said, Kendall's going to be more of a Loretta type of character. Someone Raylan wants to help. I'm really hoping Kendall doesn't become like Loretta, because as we know, Loretta, she's really a badass now, but she's kind of screwed everybody over, including herself. Basically, then Boyd's cronie, he brings him to the place where he's been keeping all the dead they've killed recently. What I'm thinking is that his cronie actually wants Boyd to be next, so that's why he's there. Overall, though, I really enjoyed this episode. A lot of stuff to talk about. What do you think of the new character of Kendall? What's going to happen with him? Do you like his kind of like the Loretta comparisons? Why is Boyd with the cronie? What's going on with Art? Why is he doing something without Raylan knowing? What is that all about? This is it for this review. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay, bye.